They called him many things: sinner, coward, liar. But none of those words hurt as much as silence. 10 years ago, he lost everything for a sin he didn't commit. His family turned away, his name erased. Now, the world has forgotten him, but the guilt never has. Until one morning, on a road forgotten by time, forgiveness came walking in the shape of a stranger. His name was Daniel, 29 years old, but his eyes carried decades. 10 years earlier, a crash had taken his brother and left him chained to a memory that never slept. Every morning, he drove to nowhere, fixing other people's engines, never his own. He lived in the noise of machines because silence was too loud. Rain clung to his windshield that morning, as if heaven itself refused to look at him. The road was empty until his car gave up, the same way he had years ago. He stepped out, kicked the tire, whispered a curse. That's when he saw it. A figure walking through the fog, calm, steady, untouched by the storm. The old man came closer. His blue robe moved like water in the wind. No umbrella, no hurry, just presence. Daniel watched him from the side of the road, unsure if he was real or a memory shaped by rain. The stranger stopped beside the broken car, resting one hand on the hood, as if greeting an old friend. "Engines break when they're pushed too hard," he said softly. "So do hearts." Daniel tried to laugh, but it came out as anger. "Thanks for the poetry, old man. Unless you can fix engines, keep walking." The monk didn't move. He just looked at the car, then at Daniel, not judging, just seeing. "I fix what's willing to be fixed." A gust of wind passed between them, bending the grass without touching a leaf. For a moment, Daniel forgot to breathe. Something in the air changed. Not lighter, not darker, just aware. Daniel's jaw tightened. "You don't know me, old man. You don't know what I've done." The monk said nothing. He stood there, as if the silence itself had weight. "Don't look at me like that," Daniel snapped, "like I'm some broken thing you can fix with words." "Words don't fix," the monk replied calmly. "Listening does. I don't need your peace. I need my life back." Daniel's voice cracked through the rain. "My brother's gone. My family's gone. My name's mud. You can't fix that." The monk looked toward the horizon. "If you measure your life by what's gone, you'll never notice what stayed." Daniel turned away, breathing hard. "You sound like the priest my mother used to quote. Did you listen to him?" "No." "Then maybe this time you should." The wind slowed. Somewhere in the distance, thunder rolled, like a heartbeat trying to start again. The rain slowed to a whisper. The monk sat on a fallen log, motioning for Daniel to sit. After a long silence, Daniel obeyed, not out of faith, but exhaustion. "You think forgiveness is for them?" the monk began. "It's not. It's for you." Lesson 1. The weight of memory. The past is not a chain. It's a mirror. You can stare into it forever. or use it to see where not to go again. Lesson 2. The illusion of justice. Forgiveness isn't saying they were right. It's saying you refuse to stay wrong forever. Lesson 3. The price of silence. Pain that's never spoken turns into identity. You've been living as your wound, not as yourself. Daniel's voice trembled. You think I wanted this? You think I wanted to hate them? No one wants to hate, the monk said gently, but hate feels safer than hurt. Lesson 4. The mirror of guilt. Sometimes guilt is just grief that never learned how to cry. Daniel pressed his hands against his face. The rain hid his tears. Lesson 5. The quiet choice. Forgiveness doesn't start with mercy. It starts with a decision. I will not let this define me anymore. A truck passed by, throwing light across the road like a sunrise. Lesson 6. The return of the heart. You've spent 10 years surviving, but survival is just breathing. Living begins when you stop holding your breath. Daniel looked at the monk, finally meeting his eyes. The monk smiled faintly. And lesson 7, the final door. The one who hurt you can't free you. Only the one who was hurt can. The rain had stopped. Only the dripping of leaves filled the silence. Daniel stood, his breath clouding in the cool air. The monk remained seated, still as stone. For the first time in years, Daniel didn't feel hunted by memory. He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a worn photograph. His brother, smiling beside a half-finished car. The photo was torn down the middle, taped together with old regret. Daniel stared at it for a long time. Then, with trembling fingers, he peeled the tape away. He looked at each half, one for him, one for the brother he lost, and placed them gently into the puddle at his feet. The water carried them apart, then together again, the ink dissolving into colourless truth. The monk rose slowly. You did what most men can't. You faced yourself. Daniel nodded, his voice raw. And what now? Now, you live without looking backward. That's how the soul remembers it's free. The clouds parted, revealing a faint sunrise, pale, hesitant, but real. Daniel closed his eyes, letting the light touch his face. For the first time in 10 years, he didn't flinch. When Daniel opened his eyes, the monk was gone. No footsteps in the mud, no sound of retreat, just air, lighter than before. The road stretched ahead, endless and clean. Daniel looked once more at the empty space where the monk had stood and whispered, "Thank you." A single ray of sunlight caught the broken car mirror, scattering light across his face. It looked like forgiveness. It felt like home. Forgiveness is not about freeing the one who hurt you. It's about freeing the one they left behind. Did this story move you? Then like, share, and subscribe. Because somewhere out there, someone needs to hear the forgiver.